Shalom, shalom. So this video is in regards to a post I made earlier on Cameron Lamb. You know, rest in paradise, man. He had 3 kids, and now, so you know, the incident that took place back to the exact date, 2019, I believe he got killed. So it took a couple years to get into the court and to get appealed and all this other stuff. So I said in my post, like, they don't have any of the original dash cam footage on public domain where you can watch it like I watched it. So it kind of irritated me, you know, and my heart goes out to the family. You know, they got compensated, rightfully so. This guy lost his job. He's a convicted murderer now, felony. Didn't spend a day. Well, he spent about a year in jail. But one site said he spent it out of state, and one site said he spent it at St. Joseph Diagnostic in St. Joe. Prison of St. Joe, and one site said so who knows where he really spent his time at. I don't know why one place would say he spent his time out of state, and one, you know, but the majority say he spent his time, and he's got pictures of the St. Joseph, you know, like thing, the numbers you hold when you got a mugshot or whatever. So anyway, moving forward. So this is his, you know, you go on casenet.com, Missouri branch of government and everything, and you can go on, I'm not going to go to the homepage, but you go to the homepage and type in litigant's name and everything, his first and last name. You can see everything he's ever been charged of, anything he's ever been convicted of. They don't really post anything on here in regards to like certiorari cases or like civil cases in the Supreme Court and everything. This is just state Missouri, the Missouri State Court. So anything federal is not going to be on here, I don't believe, but anything just state. So any federal lawsuits, any post-conviction reliefs you file with the federal court, things of this nature. So anyway, so when you click on, so Eric Delvecchinier, the officer, right? You type in his first, last name, and his charges will pop up. So when you click on his name, it brings you to this page where they got all these subcategories you can go into, like civil judgments, charges, judgments and sentences, service information, scheduled hearings and trials, garnishments, execution, blasey, blasey, right? Okay, so you go in here. So this is his docket entries. So this is from his first trial. His first trial, and for some reason it's dated 2016 CRO 2823. I don't know why. It's a little odd. Now it's got me wondering, because normally they filed charges in 2020 or something, or, you know, I don't know why 2016. You know, maybe that's making me thinking now, maybe they did that because the footage he used was from 2016, maybe. The footage that's the only thing on public domain. I don't know. So, anyway, moving forward. So on this page, right at the very, when you want to see the beginning of a case and all the docket entries and everything, you go at the very bottom page. So 6/18/2020. So they filed charges in 6/18/2020. So that 2016 number is weird because normally, again, the case number is the year of the case. The beginning case number is the year that you're in. So like 2020 case would be 2020 anyway. I guess so it'd be harder for people to find it. I have no idea. Don't know that reason. So anyway, here it says charges were filed, but then there's an order up here. It says order to redact information from court records. I don't know why you'd want to redact a case that is of, you know, a lot of public interest. You want to redact it from everybody. You know, I understand. I don't know if it was an indictment. I don't think it was an indictment. I think just charges filed, because indictments you can file privately, and only the prosecutor and on that case and the judge can see what's going on. No, not even your paid attorney or your public defender can see what's going on, or any other courts for that matter if you ask them for help. So anyway, here, and I'll show you real quick, and this is how all of them are. Normally on cases like this, when you go and look up cases, you can click on this little plus sign, right? So clicking on a little plus sign, it says media request right there. But normally when you do that, you can click on here, there's a link to it, and it'll pop up the paperwork that, you know, that's therein. Okay, so there's his first initial case. All these are the same way. You can't, so I'll do another one. So motion filed, hold on. I'm gonna go down real quick. Okay, so motion filed, right? Boom, click on it. Normally you can click that link right there, but you can't. There's, you know, because everything's redacted from court record, which is weird to me. So you can't really see what's actually being filed. You can't see any like dash cam footage that's being requested, or any motion, anything, any paperwork or anything from his partner or anything. So But the last 3 docket entries, or last 4, you can start seeing stuff. And this is from this is from not his side, but the court side. Everything that they filed. Now you can see everything they filed. You see what I'm saying? So you click on that and paperwork pops up, right? Boom, bam. Okay, so now you go to his Court of Appeals, and even his mandate from the Missouri Court of Appeals, mandate affirmed, it pops up. Everything pops up, and you can read the paperwork and see what's going on and everything like that, okay? So now I'm going to go back. I'm going to case header. Okay, so I already got it open on another tab, but normally you would hit back, or you hit home again and then retype in his name and then look at his other cases. Okay, now this is his appeals case. Look how different it is. Now his appeals case is a lot different. So you go all the way down to the bottom. His appeals case started on 2/22/2022. Okay. He was able to get out during his appeals on an appeal bond. It's very rare during a murder case. But favoritism shown. He's an officer. He had backing by Jeff Parsons, and he also has backing by the current Michael Kehoe, or whatever his name is. So anyway, 2022, and you go up, and I'm gonna show you one of the motions filed here. Look, so, or sustained until August. Okay, so there's nothing really filing. Okay, there's a filing right here. Can't get into it. Motion to extend file brief. Can't get into it. Okay. Sustained 5/22. Can't get into it. Waived brief. Okay, so early on you can't get into anything. Sustained until. Motion to extend. Okay. So this is his appeals. Let me see a motion filed. Okay, amicus curiae motion to file brief. Okay. Well, now you go up here, motion. Okay, so State of Missouri versus Eric Day. Okay, so I believe, okay. Normally, motion to deposit. Okay. Who filed this motion? Okay. For permission to submit defense exhibits out of time. Okay, so here in the appeals, you can see what he's, or what kind of exhibits he's putting into the court as evidence, right? You couldn't do that in his first case. Like, you'd go down and look at the motion filed, or this or that, you couldn't. So this is all like, he's defense exhibit 334, merit handwritten affidavit, CV of David Clymer, Facebook video of left hand, Facebook video of guns. So stuff against Cameron that could incriminate Cameron and make him look like a criminal. Anyway, so you can see this on his appeals, right? This is what his party, this is what, appellate counsel respectfully request permission to file. Okay, and per federal law, anything that's filed in any appeals, any like retrials or rehearings or anything, cannot be used in a new hearing. So you can't go back and look at his first hearing to see if these things were, filed in his first hearing. They might have been. I don't know why he wouldn't use these. And the only reason why he wouldn't use these is because the first hearing, right? Well, the video that was shown that I seen, it's shows the murder of Cameron Lamb. It doesn't show any of the stuff that he's saying and that's posted on the internet and all this other stuff. I don't know. The only video I can find of Cameron Lamb is, KCPD, and they're all standing around, and there's like recording of a video call in one media, and then the other one is the police helicopter footage when they're flying over his alleged house, and it's during the daytime and everything. This man passed away, got killed at nighttime, and like I said in my post, he was driving, he wasn't driving fast. I'm assuming the cops were messing with him, effing with him, because maybe that video that's shown from the police helicopter was them messing with them prior. I don't know if it was the same day, but later that night or sometime later, they caught up to him and tried to pull him over and try to harass him and F with him. I've been harassed and F with, and people following me to my jobs trying to intimidate me and things of this nature, right? So that's probably what was happening. So Cameron didn't want to stop, right? He wasn't driving fast, radically running people over or nothing. He got to this little alleyway by his home or wherever he was going, and as soon as he got in, he got there and he backed up into his driveway. And the cops were almost up to him, and when he was already parked, everything done. He said the car was rolling back and all this other stuff, and it wasn't. He parked in front of his garage, stopped the car, put his hands up, and Cameron looked at his partner, right? still behind the wheel of the truck, his red truck, and looked at his partner. Cameron did real quick, or didn't do no movements like grabbing a gun or nothing. And then his officer, or what's his name, Eric Del Vecchinar, just shot him 4 different times, like dead, automatically dead after the first shot. But he's like, I thought he was going to shoot you, freaking out and everything and all this other stuff. Then he goes and asks his girlfriend, where's the gun at? And you see him, he goes around the back house, and his girlfriend was like, it's in the backyard on the stairs, on the deck, or the stairs leading to the basement or the deck or whatever. And so he grabs it and he comes back with, you see him on camera with the gun, and then just throws the gun by Cameron in the passenger seat. But there's there's pictures of another red vehicle with bullet holes on the left side of the vehicle when you're looking straight at it. He shot at the right side of the vehicle 4 different times, just deader than a doornail. He lumped over. But yeah, so anyway, my point is, you can see what's being filed on his appeals, but you can't see what's being filed in his first case. I don't know why that is. I have no idea, because the media got the original body cam. So now the original body cam's gone. Now, after all this occurred and he got out of prison, got communed from Jeff Parsons and Mike. Well, Jeff Parsons wanted to, then Mike Kehoe actually did. I think that's how it went. It goes to show, who these people will protect and who these people will help, and who these people will get behind, right? But if you're anybody other than law enforcement or anybody other than legislative, executive, or judicial, these people will not help you in any form or fashion. And I don't know if Michael Kehoe and Jeff Parsons, they may or may not know of the original video. I don't know why, because I only started hearing about them getting involved when time come appeals and, he'll get communed and all this other stuff. I don't know if they actually looked at evidence or nothing, but that first video, you would not have communed that man. You would not have pardoned that man. That's a man probably high on his Adderall, abusing his Adderall. And that's another thing, bro. I'm starting to think, seriously, like filing some paperwork or something, getting something going, where you cannot carry a pistol or any non-lethals if you have a narcotic in your system, if you have Adderall, if you have any pain, because I've seen cops and officers on Adderall, and it's amphetamine, right? And should not be on amphetamine, and I doubt they're prescribed it, because I've asked several times sergeants and stuff, and what's the police captain and stuff, a few of them, I say, you need to drug test your employees, because they get high on dope, they snort dope, they do all this stuff, bro. They do. I don't know if you've ever experienced a police officer face to face high on dope and then wants to beat you up. I have. Red eye. One cop one time pissed his pants because he was so high, and he kind of got freaked out because they didn't know what they were doing with me. And the other officer, was all the aggressor and all this other stuff. But this guy, I can't remember his name now, but I was in the back of an EMT, and he started saying, like, what are we doing with this dude? And he kind of got, his eyes kind of got big, and he pissed his pants. He was nervous, bro. Because I smelled it. I said, what's that smell? And I looked at it, why are you pissing your pants? But I felt for him, because he, was like, oh crap, what do we do? See what I'm saying? So, because all I was trying to do at that time was use a restroom. But anyway, moving forward. So that's my point. You can see stuff filed on his, other than the state's, what the state filed, right? Here's a motion. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, other motion. You can see another motion filed. So it's very calculated and strategic. So the Missouri, okay, so Jackson County Prosecutor's Office motion for leave to participate in oral argument. So you can see the motions participating for, in regards to him or not in regards to him. And then you can see what the state files. Suggestions in opposition. So it's very strategic what they allow. And all of these, honestly, they're supposed to have what's called a certificate of service. If there's not a certificate of service on here to click on and view that they got service and actually, were given this paperwork or what have you, then you can't, what I was told, it's not verifiable and it's not allowed to use. So my point I'm getting at is, even on public domain, not the media and everything, they will, protect. Because, again, later after this, after he got communed and all this other stuff, there's this advocate group for police officers with the footage of him, of a helicopter flying over the property. Because if that was the footage and that was what was used, because, again, he was claiming to be an off-duty detective with his partner and no body cam, no Probably no dash cam, no none of this. And there's an awning over from the helicopter. How did a police officer get convicted of murder? See, entry of violence or entry of appearance filed. So this is probably an attorney filing. On behalf of Amicus Curiae, Jackson County Prosecuting Attorney's Office, undersigned counsel. So you can see Amicus Curiae, that's friend of the court. So things for and that are in his favor, or not in his favor, but for him, or you can see on his appeals. And I'm pretty sure you can see it. He's also got his Washington case up there too, Supreme Court case, because he tried to go to the Supreme Court and they said, you're guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, dude. But the thing is that's irritating, Eric. If you ever happen to see this, or anybody that helped you, or KCPD or anything, I'm trying to get help from the courts, and it's because of folks like you, brother, and the lies you tell and want people to perceive, and the help that you got. People like me can't get help or injunction relief, not even monetary relief or declaratory relief or anything from the folks that are employed as public servants, cops, sheriffs, things of this nature, attorneys. The wrong they've done to us or me, we can't get help because of things like this that are going on in the courts, and things that are going on in the people's minds and things like that. This is what the people want. This is what the people want. The people want the cops to be protected. The people want this. The people want that. But listen, bro, Proverbs 28, I encourage you to go read it, because I'm just going to say Proverbs 28. Just go read Proverbs 28 and see what they say in regards to murderers. You're not supposed to help a murderer, bro. And at that time, the governors are not helping an entity. They're helping one single murderer. Understand what I'm saying? So I just want to leave you guys with that. I know it's a long video, but it's a lot to cover. But this is and when I first couldn't find the video, I was like, where the hell is that video? And the only video they have is, and another thing with that police chopper, in the report it says he was on like 41st and Broadway or something, and the police chopper was just chilling, hovering over 35th and Hardesty. The police choppers just don't chill and hover and like, I'm just waiting for a call, you know what I mean? No, like a chopper only goes up when they're looking for somebody or something's going on, I don't know in regards to what that situation was. It's a red truck you see if you go on Kansas City Star and watch the footage. It's just a red truck, and he kind of goes in the middle of the street. It's like somebody was following him. He was looking for him, like, who's following me? And then he goes back, but it's daytime. And they said that's when the murder occurred. It was during that time. In the garage. And, but that's not what occurred. Again, I don't know why that case number is 2016. I have no idea. But the murder did not occur at that moment. I don't know if it already occurred and the cops are just doing some mock, making it look like, hiring people to, look like something happened or what, or it happened prior and then later he got killed. But there's dash cam footage of two clothed or playing or officers in their clothing, in their uniform, KCPD clothing, that get out of that car and are chasing a red truck, not at high speeds, very slow. Just, he wanted to get his truck to home before they started with their BS and probably taking him to jail and planting drugs on him and all this stuff, beating him up. I've been to the hospital twice because cops beat me up. And ultimately, no charges were filed on me. They just kind of more or less kidnapped me. I pissed them off. They take me in the back car. They bring me to the jail, beat me up. Take me to another jail, beat me up there, and then take me to the hospital. And then I wake up and I'm like, "Am I good to go?" They're like, "Yeah, you're good to go." This happened twice, and the same day actually, exactly 10/30/2022. This happened twice to me because I tried to use the restroom at a CVS in Liberty, Missouri. Don't walk up there. If you go to Clay County, do not walk on the sidewalks, and because people, that's like Pleasantville up there, bro. But anyway. The amount of effort these people go in to, I don't know, this to like, what's the word I'm looking for? Coerce the public. But no, you're not going to, Eric, again, you're not going to sit there and you're not going to like use this to like, I didn't do nothing. When people know and have seen the original footage, bro, that's crazy. And what the media is saying now, after the fact or something, or even what they said on, just put out the real video. And you won't feel like, oh, I'm an innocent, this, that, and the other. Because you got people, I have people in my life that don't say it, but I'm sure they're like, well, you're just playing the victim. You're just playing the victim and stuff like that, right? Because I got 6 lawsuits on 5 different law enforcement agencies and 1 public defender's office. But you get communed. I'm glad that you went to jail. You suffered a little bit, if you even went to jail. I'm assuming you did. Again, I don't know exactly where, but Don't do that because, for one, and then if I cared enough, truly you don't feel this in your spirit. You killed somebody. And two, you're only crying in court because what you got. You killed somebody. He didn't have his gun on him. You couldn't. You thought he was carrying his pistol. He's got 3 kids, man. I don't think he's that stupid. I don't think he would know he's getting followed, and go out with the pistol knowing cops are following him. You understand what I'm saying? Not a smart man. There's probably something with his girlfriend. I'm not going to get into it, but and then not even you not knowing that you're not truthfully innocent of anything, but making other people believe that you are. That's what's sad. So with that, I don't want to dissuade anybody if anybody cares, but and then some of the sites sit there and say a white officer killed a black man, running that narrative. No, it was an officer, and he got pissed off. He had personal dealings with Cameron in some form or fashion. Earlier on, or something with his girlfriend, maybe domestic thing happened, and the cop was at Cameron's house, and he told him to F off or something. Things of this nature happen, but cops take things to heart. But you can't sit there and say in your spirit that, well, do whatever the cop says, this, that, and the other, because cops are trained killers, bro. And that's evident of this case. Because, again, I don't know what cop would get found guilty of a video of a helicopter with an awning and no material evidence of murder. See what I'm saying? And then in the appeals court, you try to make Cameron look like a violent criminal. You're sick to me, but, there is forgiveness. But there can't be forgiveness when you're lying to yourself and when you're lying to others just because you want to be perceived like you were when you were an officer. So with that, I'll leave you. I know it's a long video. You all have a blessed night. Thank you.